there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel and welcome to another day of Kit Conspiracy. Technically, it's a bonus day because we normally just post on Friday, Sunday, and Tuesday, and then Wednesday is our kit share. But I have so many layouts that I did with this nature study collection that I have one for every day. So there you go. You're getting lots of bonuses. So if you're not sure what Kit Conspiracy is, it is a month long of kits that MK and I have put together. So each week we have a different collection that we're working with, and we do as many layouts as we can with that particular collection before we switch to a new one the next week. And this time we are starting on Wednesdays because that's when the first of the month started. And so we started on Wednesday the 1st sharing our nature study collection. It is not the entire collection. It is a subset of that because the collection is enormous and awesome. There's no way we could have used it just in 1 week. So we did a subset of that, and we do have a Facebook group for Kit Conspiracy if you want to go over there and check out the inspiration. We have a lot of friends playing along with us this time. We did a little pre-order of kits so people could play along if they wanted to, and the kits are no longer available, but you are more than welcome to kit up your own supplies, or if you have Nature Study or one of the other collections that will be using, you can play along also. And even if it's not one of those collections, you can play along. If you're interested in seeing the collections, they are pinned at the top of the Facebook group, and I'll link that group down below in case you're interested in joining it. Okay, on to this layout. So I took the paper that had the most yellow in it, and I decided to tear off about a third of it, and I'm inking up the edges with some walnut stain. But I do want to do some mixed media on the white portion of this paper. So I pulled out this Tailored Expressions stamp. It's called Shiplap Background. And I am just randomly stamping that shiplap around on the portion that is going to be visible. And I'm not doing clear coverage. I want it to be kind of messy, and I like the way that it looks. I did that in the Sandcastle ink that you see up at the top of the screen there from Catherine Pooler. And then I am using the back of the stamp. They come mounted on like a thick plastic kind of piece, and I'm just using that to do my packaging technique with some Scattered Straw Distress Oxide, which I feel matches this yellow paper, like, I don't know, perfectly. I don't think you could have gotten a better match of yellows. So that is what I'm going with. I'm also sprinkling a little bit of that same distress ink all over the layout. And I'm liking the way that that's looking. It's kind of grunging it up a little, but I want to add a little bit of this darker texture, kind of like the yellow paper has in it. So I'm using some Macchiato Catherine Pooler ink, and I am using the burlap background stamp from Tailored Expressions. I am really loving these Tailored Expressions stamps, you guys. They have some fabulous backgrounds, and I'm reaching for them a lot more often than my other stamps, and so they are a bit new to me. I don't know if they're new on the market, but I'm sure they're not really that new. But I just love them, and so they're making me very happy. So I'm going to go ahead and keep using them. So now that I've brought in that darker color, I like it a lot better. It looks like it is supposed to be that way. It looks like it's a pattern paper that you could possibly even, I don't know. I don't know if you could buy it out of a store because it's not like perfect, but it's good. It's a good match for that yellow that is on the right-hand side with those really warm browns. So I'm happy about that. I have backed all my photos with some white paper. These photos were printed out at probably Shutterfly. Actually, yes, they were Shutterfly printed, but ages ago, you guys. I printed these. They've been sitting in my stash for probably 3 years. Because I haven't printed anything out at Shutterfly for quite a while. Not because I don't like them anymore or anything like that. I just tend to print more from home, and I've been working on more current photos. So these have been just sitting in a backlog. So anyway, that is where I would tend to do a bunch of batch printing for older events and things that I have not scrapbooked. So that's why these are kind of just sitting, waiting to be done. Okay, so I'm pulling out some pieces to kind of tuck behind my photographs. I want to give a little texture back there. I'm going to go with a diagonal design, upper right to lower left. I like all of these little frames that have come with the collection, but I'm not super crazy about the stands that they're attached to, so I'm tucking that in and hiding that stand. Playing around with what I'm going to do here. I'm not really sure at this point that I'm going to do the upper right to lower left. I thought I was going to kind of go in 3 different spots and do a visual triangle, but that piece that says 100% or that says awesomeness on it is going to be moved to the right more. So it is going to I will be doing a diagonal. Let me get that spit that out for you. Okay, and then I know I want to try and use some of the photo frames because, or film strips, I should say, because there's so many of them. We have a lot of them in this collection, so I want to try and use some of those up. So I'm kind of playing with that idea as well. I'm not really keen right now on the way those branches are looking. It looks like they came out of the ends of that butterfly. So I'm just letting it kind of live there while I work on the bottom cluster and work on seeing how I can incorporate a couple of the photo or film strips. I don't know why I keep calling them photo frames. Film strips, you guys. I do like the way that the frame up at the top with that hanging sign looks, but like I said, it is going to move. Even though I do like the way that it looks, I ended up moving it, and I didn't really make a conscious decision to move it. I think I just ended up moving things around, and I ended up with an open space in the upper right, and so I kind of shifted everything over as I was going. It just kind of went with the flow. And now I am working with some of the washi tape. There's a lot of washi tape on this roll, so I definitely want to use some of these stamps. This is the postage stamp washi, and so I am just putting a bunch of those down onto some white paper and then trimming around them. I will ink around them. I'm not going to use all of these, but I am going to use some, and in order to get to the one that I wanted, I needed to pull out, I don't know, 4 or 5 other ones to get to the one that I was actually going to use. Now I'm just working on placing some of my pieces and inking them up now that I know where I want them. And then I am going to start using some adhesive to go ahead and adhere those down. And again, I am inking everything with some walnut stains. You guys, I'm voicing this and it's been a very long day and it's kind of late. So my apologies if I can't speak. So a little bit of walnut stain goes a long ways. I think it's a great match for this collection, and these photos have so much brown in them. It's perfect for this as well. And the reason I chose the yellow paper, as you can see, there is a big yellow tent, well, partially yellow tent in these photos. So I thought that was a great way to just marry up the photos and the papers. The story with this is I'm still documenting that same birthday party. It was a survivor birthday, and they had several different competitions. It was girls against boys. The girls, they had a tent setup challenge, and let's just say the girls dominated. First of all, we had a smaller tent on the girls' side. It wasn't small. It was big enough for, I think it's a 6-person tent. But I think the boys brought like, I don't know, it was like a 2-room tent for like 9 people or something ridiculous. And 3 of these girls were from my Girl Scout troop. One's my daughter, my niece, and one of their friends. And so they were very adept at putting this tent up and down and had lots of practice with it. I think I at one point timed them, and it was 11 minutes from start to finish. That is from taking it out of the bag, setting it up, taking it back down, and back in the bag. It was a ridiculous amount of time, something just over 11 minutes. So I think the boys worked for about 40 minutes to get their tent up. So that was definitely not their forte. There were a couple of other things that they did really well, and we'll talk about those later in the week as we go through these photos. But this one, the girls definitely dominated, and it was the first challenge. So we got there, and it kicked off the party right then and there, and the girls were feeling really, really proud of themselves that they beat the boys by so much. I think they got out the bag of chips and sat and watched the boys. Anyway, okay, so here is where I have moved all of that stuff that was in the upper left to the upper right. I think I really just didn't end up liking the way the butterfly looked with that branch behind him. And I ended up pulling the film strip out as well, the large photo frame or film piece. I don't know what that's even called. It's from the film strip package, but it is a large frame. So I pulled all of that out and decided to go with this other frame hanging down from the top of the layout, and I really like that a lot better. I also added a yellow label behind that circular frame because I don't like the intersecting lines behind it. And so yes, it has a grid behind it now, but there looks like it's all supposed to be there. It's not a bunch of different pieces of paper. That is that just has a lot of intersections behind the frame. So I don't know. I'm liking the way it looks a lot better. I'm still trying to get that butterfly on there. I think it's going to end up in the bottom left corner, and then the little heart piece that looks like a button is going to end up on that frame that is hanging down. And I don't really know why I cut that film strip in half. I have so many of them because I have the whole package, but for some reason, the miser in me, I guess, still needed to cut it in half because I might need that other half somewhere else. Just use the stuff, Janet. Just use it. It's going to be okay. So I know I'm rather silly about it, but I might need it somewhere else. So I'm just using my ATG to adhere everything down. I didn't use as much liquid glue on this layout as I do on a lot of my layouts, and that's totally okay, you guys. I love both. There is a time and a place for liquid, and there's a time and a place for ATG, and use them as you need to use them. So I did use my liquid glue on that little heart button because I popped that up onto some foam. I almost always use liquid glue on the center of the butterflies, and then I pop their wings up onto a little bit of foam and use a little liquid glue on those as well, so that they have a little bit of dimension even when I stick them in to the page protector. Adding another little film strip there on the bottom left, and I think that looks good. Just kind of eyeballing it while I put a few things away, trying to decide what else it needs. And I think it just needs a little bit of inking around the edges to kind of finish it off, a little more walnut stain. And that is pretty much going to do it, you guys. The close-ups should be coming up here in just a few moments. Don't forget to go see what MK has done on her channel for today. I think she's probably got a bonus video for you as well. And go and join the Facebook group for Kit Conspiracy, and you can see how everyone else is joining in on the fun. Also, I have my own Facebook group. I don't know if you are aware of that. It's Galaxy Girl Creations. You can go and join me over there. I post almost all of my layouts over there. Sometimes I take a little break from social media, but most of them are over there. And then we do have, I do a live over there periodically as well. So go and join that if that's of interest to you. I'll have a list of the products I used down below for you in case you're interested in that. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the thumbs up if you don't mind. And if you're not subscribed, I'd love for you to subscribe as well. Thank you so much. I will see you guys again tomorrow with another video. Bye-bye.